What's going on, everybody? Hope you're enjoying the beautiful day outside. As we talk more and more about World War III, Armageddon and all this shit, how many people actually believe that America can defeat China? Just China alone. Not India or Turkey or Russia or anybody else. Just China. I think we used to be able to. You know, back in the 60s, 70s. China has grown so much over the last couple decades. They literally make everything in the world. 98% of everything that you have is made in China. From your medicine and your masks, to viruses, to your toys that your kids play with, to some of the social medias that you use. This war has already been going on for quite a while. I don't know if it's physical yet. Maybe secretly it has been. But for your mind, for who you are, for how you feel, for how you act for your country. What happened to patriotism for the land that you grew up in, that you were born in? It's gone. Over here, it's gone in America. Over in China, not so much. Look at the people in China, how there are some people that don't like living over there. I understand that. But the majority of the people, they're proud of where they are. They're proud of who they are. They'll stand up. Whether by force or not, they'll stand up for their country. We have a low rate of people in the military right now. And I have a feeling that the draft is coming. That's why that whole thing came out with women need to be drafted too. We have it so comfortable right now in America. And we complain about everything. We have nothing to do except complain about stuff because we have it so easy. And over in China and other countries, it's a hard life, it's a hard work, but you feel accomplished when you do work. When you work your butt off, the jobs that you do, you have more. You know, you're more proud of what you've accomplished. You can buy something and it breaks and it's not worth anything. You don't feel any value towards it because it was cheap, it did what you needed to do. But if you actually built something, you would take care of it. Over in China, that's what they're doing. Do you honestly think that we can say all the people in the military in China just attacked us? EMP, ground war, whatever. How many patriots would stand up? If we could win, the patriots that would stand up to that would stand up to what is going on right now that is leading us to that. That is the cause of where we are, is China manipulating and brainwashing, and our government's in with it. Not the whole government, but there's people in our government that don't necessarily care about America the way it is. It doesn't take much to pay somebody off or to blackmail somebody. I don't think that we would win that. Certainly not with all of our adversaries combined, put together. I don't think we would win that at all. What I do think is you can win spiritually. That's about the best you got, which is good enough. But the only war that we will be able to win individually is our spiritual wars. All this crap coming into our schools, brainwashing our kids, brainwashing half of the adults, more than half. You know, this all the 3%ers, you know, that's all it's going to take. It's going to take a lot more than that. The 3%ers back in the day had help. They had outside help. We do not have outside help. I suggest to everybody to find a piece piece of land like my family is looking for. Build something on that piece of land to where you can barter and trade and sell your own stuff, where you don't have to rely on a job. That's the way we're going to win this war. I suggest you learn how to grow food, buy some stocks, reserves, whatever you want to call it, but mainly learn how to grow your own, raise your own animals, get a couple chickens. I live in a small town. Technically, I'm not supposed to have chickens. I still have chickens. Not many. I've got like 5 or 6, but I have some in the incubator, and I plan on getting more. I plan on getting rabbits. Well, today I got more rabbits. We bought one rabbit a couple months ago. He was very young, maybe not even a month old, maybe, and a couple days later he just passed away for no reason. It's really sad, but sometimes that happens. They get scared and they die. It is what it is. I bought 2 rabbits today. I plan on breeding them, making more, getting more. I can sell the meat, I can eat the meat, I can trade the meat, the fur. You need to learn how to do this stuff for your family. People watch videos all the time, and it bugs the crap out of me, because people will watch videos and say, okay, this is what I should do, this is how to do it, but they don't do anything. So many people just watch doomsday fear porn. Oh, well, look what's going to happen, what's going to happen. It's going to happen because you let it happen, because you don't do anything about it. Oh, what's the point? What's the point of getting prepared when the world's about to end? We don't know when God's coming back. We don't know when Jesus is coming back. The world's not ending right now. When it's ending, you will know. There's a lot worse stuff to happen. We may be in the growing pains, yeah. But say we are in the growing pains right now, that still gives us quite a few years for the world to actually end the way it is talked about in the Bible. I feel like the world's ended plenty of times over and over again, just not for us. It's ended for cities, catastrophes, civilizations, plagues. It's ended with asteroids, but we haven't died yet. So many civilizations talk about a flood happening. It ended for them, but not for the other people. They survived. There's always going to be 1 or 2 people who survive. A couple 100,000 people survive. Until the day of Judgment Day comes, we will continue to make this shit happen. Stop worrying about what everybody else says. Stop worrying about your feelings. And just worry about what is actually going on and what you can do about it. There's no sense about crying about, oh my God, the Russians are invading another country. That sucks. It's terrible. It is what it is. Over here right now, what you're doing for your family in a couple years will determine how you survive or how you don't survive. How it plays out will determine on what you're doing for your family. Anybody read any stories recently about how millionaires and celebrities are building bunkers? They're moving their assets. They're doing stuff actively. That's why rich people stay rich. Is because they are ahead of the curve. Not saying they have insider knowledge, but they see the writing on the wall. They see what's going on. They see, hey, shit's getting real. I better do something about it. I better protect my assets. The poor person stays poor because he is stuck in that mindset of, I gotta have the new flashy thing, or there's nothing I can do about it. Save $1 a day, you have $365 at the end of the year. Anybody can do that. You can walk around and find quarters and do that. Save $2, you have double. Save $10, you have 10 times the amount. You would have, if you save $10 a day for a year, you would have enough to go out and buy a piece of land debt-free and probably have money left over, depending on where you're buying it at. That's what I'm doing. Mine's about $7 a day. It's not hard to get $7 a day. It really isn't. People, you don't need to wake up and see what the hell is going on and actually do something about it. You know, work towards a goal. A lot of our problems are we don't have goals anymore. We don't have people willing to work. We don't have people willing to do anything because the government's going to take care of me, or mommy and daddy's going to take care of me. I can't get a job. I'll lose all my, my EBT. I'll lose my free money if I get a job. Don't you think that's part of the plan? Don't you think that this shit that is free for you comes with a cost? It comes with your dignity. Nah, I understand EBT. My mom had it when I was a kid. I know people that are on it right now. I know people that have 3 jobs, making minimum wage, barely making any money, working on the side, and they have it. I get that. But if you make a little bit too much, they'll take it away from you. You make a little bit too much, you have no help at all. Not enough to feed your family, but not enough to get the monopoly money either. It's part of growing up and being mature and figuring out what you need to do. God forbid you have to move out of McDonald's and find a higher paying job. Or start your own fast food restaurant. If you don't like what you're getting paid, don't bitch about your employer. Find another employer that pays. At my old job, I made $39 an hour. I got paid really, really good. I wasn't happy, so I left, but that's besides the point. I could go work at McDonald's and make, I don't know, what is it now? Like $11, I think, in Virginia. I think it's $11 an hour minimum wage, and then in a couple of years it's going to go up to $15. You know what's going to happen when it goes to $15? Your hamburger is going to be $8, $9 instead of $4 or $5. Not to mention inflation, or if they even have the supply chain going. People want to bitch about minimum wage. Don't worry about it. Just find a better paying job or do your own thing to make money. There are so many ways to make money right now in this world, especially with e-commerce. Everything is online. I was watching this thing, me and my neighbor were talking about growing worms. There's a company makes close to $300,000 a year selling worms. They've been in business for 25 years, but still. Selling worms, making well over $1 million a year. You can do that with rabbits, you can do it with chicken eggs, you can do it with duck eggs, you can do it with fertilized eggs. Sell stuff on eBay, make stuff and sell stuff on Etsy. Learn how to knit stuff and make mittens and sell them. That takes too much time. It works. Work takes time. Anything in this life takes time. I wouldn't suggest getting into the real estate market because that's about to collapse, I have a feeling. But you never know. It depends on what side of the coin you're on. You can make a lot of money or you can lose a lot of money. Just like the stock market. You can make a shit ton of money or you can lose it all. All depends on when you buy and sell. What I'm getting at is there's ways to get ahead in life. But you're too lazy and arrogant to want to work towards a better future. That's why you stay poor. That's why you stay, stuck on the system's tip. Because you don't want to jump out. You're afraid to take chances. Don't be that person. If you're afraid to take chances, you're going to die when all this shit collapses. You will lose your family, everything. You're going to be stuck in some kind of FEMA camp or something. Well, that's where they told me to go. That's where they told me the food was and not be safe. That's where the free stuff is. You ever notice anytime they give you something free, it tends to be bad? 5-10 years down the road. Giving out them free things a couple years ago. Look what happened to people. I don't know, man. Since when is young Americans having heart attacks a normal thing? Since when is that? They have a term for it now. Oh yeah, it's been like that. Yeah. No, it has not. Even older people. Look at the heart attack rate on older people and young people. Blood clots in people. Look at how high that shit has risen in the last couple of years. Just in the last couple of years. How fast it's risen. Look at from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, where it kind of goes up and down, up and down. In the last 2-3 years, how it just spikes straight up. And you tell me, oh, that's normal. Look at our stock market the last 10 years. Ever since 08, it's been going up anyway. But ever since 08, when I printed all that money out, look how quick it's jumped up. They have to battle what they've done. You're putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. It's not gonna last forever. So yeah, find yourself a job that you can do, that you can make money in, but at the same time, don't go out and buy dumb shit. Use that money as soon as you can on a piece of land, some food, some seeds, something to defend yourself with, whether it's a crossbow or a bat or a 12-gauge shotgun, whatever. Things in the Bible and what's going on right now, there are so many parallels. So it might be the end here soon. You never know. I don't think anybody knows except God. That's the way the story's told. But these things will happen. We are being dumbed down. Our souls of who you are being taken away from you. Little by little. And here in the last couple of years, it's been a lot by a lot. Your identity, who you are, what you represent, being proud of what you stand for is being eroded every single day. And you mumber in the background, oh, this shit's stupid, man, I don't want to do this. It's like transphobia. Oh, that's racist, man. That's transphobia. You can't be trans. That's not right. It's biologically does not work that way. And I'm a bigot or, trans whatever because I don't believe that's right. And I'll stand up and talk against it because I don't believe it's right. There's other people that say, if you want to be a girl and you're a dude, be a girl. I don't care. I do care because it's not right. It's biologically, literally, it is not the same. You cannot just choose your gender. I cannot just choose. I'm a black guy now. Yep. Where's my reparations? Who's that lady, Warren something? She wanted to be an Indian on her college thing. I can't remember her name. She wanted to be an Indian to get compensated for it. Actually, legally, I have enough blood in my body. If I would get a test done, I would be enough Indian to get shit. But I don't because I work for what I want in life. I don't want to have to worry about the government giving me anything. People cry too much about stupid shit. And they don't cry about the right shit. You're not standing up for the right stuff to stand up for. You're standing up for your football team. You're standing up for the UFC fighter. Or what kind of, soda you drink. But you're not standing up for our children. You're not standing up for right and truth. You're not standing up for your country, for your town. Everything is just getting washed away. Look at all these cities. Portland, Chicago, California is shot. DC's a hellhole. And nobody's standing up for it. They just talk shit and fucking move on. When will we say enough is enough? People say that all the time. Well, enough's enough, man. I'm going to do something. And you're not doing anything. You literally are not doing anything but bitching about it and talking to your friends about it. Well, this is horse shit. We need to do something. Then do something about it. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up. Dude, we had a war to get away from a tyrant, a king, because we were done with his bullshit. There was a huge war about that. African Americans back in the 50s or 60s or whenever that happened had a huge movement because they were sick and tired of the bullshit. And they won. And we won. Everybody won because people stood up for things that actually mattered. Getting rid of racism mattered. We got rid of it. There's still racist people, sure. There will always be assholes in the world. There will always be racist people. There will always be black people that don't like white people, and white people that don't like black people, and people that don't like gay people, and gay people that don't like straight people. There will always be those people. But when you stand up for truth and what's right, those people have to go away. They have to shut up. You're making it the norm to be that. You're making it normal to be racist, normal to be gay or whatever. Shit's not normal, man. The taboo stuff of 100 years ago is now normal. And it should not be. Because it's not the truth. It's not reality. Fake realities, man. We're getting sucked into the computer. We're being sucked into artificial intelligence. Where you don't have a soul. You don't have a connection with God, the Spirit, whatever. You're not you. You're not your own identity. I saw something on Facebook earlier, and I wanted to do a video. I might still do a video about it. But there's like 5 or 6 different sections in the Bible. I think Mark, there was another, I can't remember. I'll look it up. But it talks about demons entering your body. What do they identify as? They identify as they, we, us. Somebody had a comment, The Legion, if anybody remembers that movie. Look around. How many theys and we's and thems they're sitting around now. All these people that you don't agree with, if you tend to lean towards the right and you don't like the people on the left, chances are the people on the left that you don't like aren't just, they've let their soul be taken over by demonic forces. Laugh at it, I don't care. The people that give into this stuff have been taken over. You can fight it, man. My life was okay when I didn't really care about religion, when I did my own thing, I did whatever I wanted, I did drugs, I did stupid shit. Bad things happened, but I didn't really care about it. Now that I'm on the other side and I fight against it and I pray against it, it seems like I'm attacked more and more. The more I stand up against it, the more I'm attacked. The more you stand up for what you believe in, the more you will be attacked and ridiculed for it. But you'll be on the right side of everything. You're on the right side when people are fighting to kill you. Demonic forces are after you. You're on the right side. God lets free choice happen, freedom of will, whatever you want to call it, happen. You can either be good or you can be bad. If you're bad, this life that you live won't be so bad for you, If you cheat and steal, there's always karma, I guess, but the world isn't so bad for you if you do all these evil things. But your afterlife is sure as shit gonna be terrible. If you live this life just in the way it's supposed to be and work hard, it's gonna be a hard life, You'll be happy, sure. You'll make friends, but you'll feel good about who you are. You'll feel good and just about who you are and what you represent. And your afterlife will be a lot better than the other people. I would rather have 60, 70, 80 years that are kind of rough, but I'm happy, an eternity of happiness, versus a few quick years here having parties doing, bad stuff for an eternity of hell. I'd much rather have the other one. I think most people would, but they're too afraid to stand up for it. God says that people that believe in God will be ridiculed and mocked and put to death at the end of times. Look what's going on right now. How many people say, God's stupid, God's not real. You believe in some hippie living up in the clouds? front of me every day. I see it online all the time. God's not real. Why do you believe in some made up fairy tale bullshit? Why don't you believe in science? I do believe in science. I just don't believe we came from tadpoles. Science is real. But just like how, what was the Thor movie? I think it was Thor, one of the Marvel movies. He said, your magic is our science. Our magic of God, our creation is just part of science. It's how he made it. It's how it's encoded. Science is religion. But the thing that science can't, you know, the big question that they can't understand, they can't get right, they can't figure out is, where did we come from? They said that we came from a dot this big. You know, that the entire universe came from a little speck that is smaller than an atom. How in the fuck would that ever be possible? That makes no sense. Some kind of greater being had to have made this. Whether God is an alien or a fifth dimensional creature, the fact is God is God. And that's it. There's some kind of being, there's some kind of entity. That's how I see God when I read it, when I read the Bible, and how I feel. I think God is a super, like, way up the chain, you know, the highest of the chain. Some kind of entity, some kind of, I don't know, dimension, the 50th dimension, whatever you want to call it, that knows everything, that sees everything, that feels everything. God's an emotion. I think different dimensions are emotions, you know, a dimension of happiness, a dimension of being pissed off. God's up there with all the emotions. He has everything. He feels everything. And we want to sit there and say our science doesn't match it, therefore it's wrong. When we're using a freaking peanut as a brain compared to some kind of other dimension. We think we have a grasp on how reality works. 100 years ago, they thought the same thing. 1,000 years ago, they thought the same thing. And every single one of them was proved wrong. We need to wake up. We need to stand up for our children. That's the first thing we need to do. We need to stand up for our kids, our next generations, because they are the future. Just like your kids were the future, or your parents were the future before you. We need to have a nice path for our kids to grow up in. If we make it that long. Then we need to get our families prepared for what is going to happen, not if, but when, because this shit is collapsing. You need to find a piece of land. You need to find people that you can trust to live with. And you need to do it soon. Like really, really soon. All these YouTubers are talking about getting out of the city. I've been trying to for years with my wife. She didn't want to. She's just now seeing it. And I had to pray and wait for her. I have to protect my family. I have to protect my kids. This is the only way I know how to, is working for myself, saving up as much as I can, selling anything that I can, working my ass off for what I have. And I will not stop until I'm where I need to be. End of story. Anyway, there's my rant for today. Protect your kids. Love you. See you. Bye.